What's good, guys? Um, yeah, I know it's kind of been a minute since I've been posting on this channel, and it is for good reason. And I do have a kind of a little announcement to make, and I won't be seeing you guys until 2024. I know I don't necessarily have much people watching, but for the people that do watch me and keep up with my videos, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break. And the reason for that is because ever since I've started my journey on self improvement, this is something my sister brought to light, is that I've never actually been really doing anything for me. Yes, it's self improvement, but it was motivated by the external. It was motivated by validation. It was motivated by providing for other people. Maybe for some people that didn't even want to be provided for. Therefore, I was doing a disservice to myself as a man and continuously letting myself to be empty based off my efforts and my busyness, which was in hindsight kind of useless. And I wouldn't necessarily say it was a waste, because I've learned a lot in these past 3 to 4 years of me kind of developing myself and trying to become the best version of me. But I was just trying to become the best version of me, not for me, man. It was for girls. It was for my family. It was for my future family. It was for my wife, my future wife, etc. Sometimes I'd even think of, like, I need to make sure I get this money now and work hard so that my wife's parents are not struggling. So my wife's parents so my wife's siblings aren't suffering, yada yada yada. I'm taking on too much responsibility, and I'm motivated by providing to people that it won't really matter in that, and when that time comes, right? And I just kind of felt empty as a man, right? And you kind of see this play out a lot in men. They're always doing stuff for their family, for their future family, and by the end of their journey they kind of feel empty. And that's kind of how I felt. I kind of felt empty. There was a couple weeks where I was just waking up really, really late. I was struggling to get out of bed, and I was kind of more or less just asking God, like, okay, God, why is this happening, bro? I'm not usually like this. I don't really usually feel so sluggish, or I don't feel such a challenge to go face the days and face the hardships of the world. It's not something that usually scares me or keeps me underneath my warm covers. But there was a period of 2 weeks where it was just consistently. I was waking up 2 minutes before I started work. I start work at 8 a.m. I was waking up at 7:55, 7:58, having to rush, go to work, and speed down the fucking highway. Okay, and I didn't really know why. Like, I was setting my alarm. I was going to bed literally 8, 9 hours, but I just found myself sleeping in. No, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. And I just kept asking God, why? And one day I was doing DoorDash, and I came home, and my sister was just sitting on my bed, and she's like, "Oh, where you been?" Yada yada. And we ended up having just kind of a deep philosophical conversation about life, and we kind of just ended up crying together, just kind of highlighting my growth as a man and my inability to see my growth as well. Everything. I'm 19 years old. I don't like to put myself on a pedestal or think of myself as any better than anybody else in my social environment or my friends like that. But everything I have in my own room, I purchased myself. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly grinding. I'm constantly looking to strive towards greatness and just a better version of me. I've been constantly evolving, and what's really sad about that, which is now obviously been brought to light, is that I've never actually been able to appreciate that. I never actually been able to appreciate my evolution, right? And then me starting this YouTube channel was, again, a reason. It wasn't necessarily for me, right? Like, okay, yes, I wanted to possibly make money. I wanted to inspire, but the only reason I wanted to inspire was for you guys, or for my audience watching, right? It wasn't for me. Every YouTube video I do, every time I grind and try to get articles and write and blog and do all this kind of stuff, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for Gerako, right? It was for you guys. And as much as I love you guys, what are you guys going to really do for my life? And let's be honest here, right? Even if I inspire as many people as possible, then what? What happens to Gerako? I've I've exhausted all my efforts in exchange for the satisfaction of an audience. It's in essence, it's beautiful, but there's a point where that is too much, right? In the beginning, when I started my YouTube channel, my cup was overflowing. I mean, that's why views skyrocketed. That's why people were watching. That's why following was going up. But as I started to keep on posting, my cup started to deplete. I was constantly working to make these videos that were me, again, exhausting my efforts, and my cup was slowly starting to drain. And lo and behold, so were the views, right? I'm making all these videos. I'm providing as much value as I can, because that's what I really want to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. But my cup was not being filled. I spend all these time making these videos and making them as high quality as possible, doing as much research as possible, and trying to implement them. But the time spent implementing and the time spent creating is in contrast, bro. I didn't necessarily have time to implement most of the advice that I gave. To this day, sometimes I don't, right? I don't really have much time to implement the advice that I give. Therefore, I kind of feel like a fraud. Therefore, I kind of feel empty. And it was just now, it's just kind of time to change, right? And from now, August 1st to January 1st, 2024, I'm going to be working extremely hard on myself, for myself, to become the best version of me, to then leave footsteps for people who choose to follow. And within those footsteps, I'm going to leave golden nuggets of advice. I'm going to leave documentation and strategies on how to take yourself out of the ruts and face the hardships that come with each step, right? That's going to be the whole goal of from now to 2024. And I'm still going to make videos, but these videos are actually just going to be for me, right? And right now, if I were to lift up my shirt and try to flex, I wouldn't be walking proof of somebody who goes to the gym, somebody who's disciplined. My body is not even a representation of somebody who's disciplined. My bank account isn't a representation of somebody who's disciplined. So why am I even here talking about discipline? Okay, yeah. I'm documenting my journey. It's all a process, of course. But in a sense, you have to be ahead of the people that you're leading, in a sense, right? And so I'm not in some cases, bro. I'm not. So the goal is to become walking proof. Become walking proof by 2024. And you're going to see a different man, bro. You're going to see a different Gadako. Yeah, bro, and I just kind of know what's the right thing to do. I don't really get, again, I don't care about views. I don't care about algorithms. I don't care about any of that shit, because I know once you come back with valuable videos, people will watch. It's gonna show up on your recommended feed no matter what. So, yeah, that's kind of gonna be the plan. And encapsulating all of that, bro, this idea has been in my head for a while. It's like every single week I'm rushing to make a video, which not really rushing, but rushing to gain knowledge on that video. Doesn't that mean that I kind of lack wisdom? If I'm always looking for something new to say, for a new piece of knowledge to add, I can't even just take it out of my experience. I can't just sit down and talk for 25 minutes on my life and the strategies I apply to get out of the hardships of my life. Well, one, I'm 19. I haven't experienced much life. And second, well, that's that. No, that's that. There's no second. I'm 19. I haven't experienced much life. And there's not enough wisdom for me to do that. So if I'm constantly playing catch up week by week, that means there's no reason for me to be even uploading videos. But if I were to play catch up every 4 months, every month, imagine the amount of value I can add to you guys, right? Imagine the amount of lives we can change. Imagine the amount of lives I can change personally, and then the lives you can change as well by taking the advice I give you. So that's the whole goal, right? And right now I'm in a nice little transition period in my life. I'm back on my schedule, waking up at 4:30, going to the gym, reading before work, and doing what I do. And I got a promotion, right? I've now transitioning to corporate commercial sales, business-to-business sales. I basically be selling electronics to different businesses around my city, and building my client list there. I have a lot of plans for that, and the money is great. But obviously, you know me, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not trying to work a job for the rest of my life. I don't even give a shit about the salary. I don't like the idea of golden handcuffs. I don't like the idea of being set in one place forever. And yes, I do plan to be there long term, like 3, 4, maybe 5, 10 years. It depends. But in the meantime, I'm not going to come home and de-stress with Netflix and easy pleasures and ways to distract myself from the hardships of the world. I'm going to take those hardships of the world and put them behind me as something to run away from. And while I'm running away from that fear, I'm going to be extra motivated to pursue my own thing. And my only fear, again, is being anchored in one spot. And I know in order to not be anchored in one spot, I need to take off my student cap. Keep my student cap on, my bad. In order to not be anchored, you have to keep your student cap on and continuously be persistent. Okay? God put me on this earth for something. Jordan Peterson said, your results in this world are in direct proportion to the load that you carry. So I'm not going to walk around this world with a feather and just constantly binging these easy pleasures, hoping that I'll end up getting success. If there's one thing I've noticed around in my short 19 years on earth, is that everybody seems to have this delusion that they're going to be rich. Everyone thinks they're going to be rich one day, bro. I walk around, I look people in the face, I'm like, that guy probably thinks he's going to be rich. Despite the fact that his daily efforts resemble somebody who's forever going to be in a perverted state. Like, always. Like seriously, bro. So my goal is to have a solid foundation around my philosophy, but not only from my mouth. From what I do every single fucking day. Okay? And that should be the same for you. So, yes. That's me, and that's kind of where I'm at now. the drive and the motivation to completely change my life is it's extremely large, man. And I'm tearing up now because it's hard. Yes, it's hard. I know it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Whatever. Okay, and I'm constantly facing people who are trying to, I wouldn't say pull me away, but just little by little not acknowledge the efforts I put in, right? And it's best for me not to be affected by the people in my external environment. I'm never going to be affected by them, whoever the fuck they may be, because again, I'm here for me. And it's all about individual sovereignty, as Jordan Peterson likes to talk about. And the more I orientate myself within the society in a productive manner, the more I'm going to be able to provide, the more I'm going to be able to inspire. Right? And I used to have this simple ideology of making sure that I build myself up to a level, have kids, and teach them a lesson and kind of show them my struggle. But I'm not realizing that the whole goal of pushing forward your family lineage is to eliminate as much as your struggle from the future generation. Right? Why would you have a son and deprive him of finances so he can push himself further? My grandparents started here, brought my mom and dad up here. Now my mom and dad brought me up here. But sometimes I'm still experiencing the same struggles my grandparents had. So therefore, we're going backwards. So that's why I'm motivated to eliminate as much struggle. I'm not saying to eliminate struggle from my children, but to allow them to struggle in their own way. Justin Wilder talks about this a lot too. He talks about how he started his business in the steel industry, and then there's some kids that just got lucky on a crypto pump. Yes, those kids got lucky in a crypto pump, but now they have their own struggle, and that's going to be the goal for my kids as well. But besides that, that's a whole different topic right, that we can go about for days. But in a nutshell, I need to take a break to discover myself as a man, go through times in isolation, and really test my mental fortitude and my mental strength to the degree that makes me change. And like I said, I'm young, I'm 19, so the plasticity of my brain is still very, very, very malleable. So I'm going to take that to full effect. I'm not going to build these habits that just cause degeneration in my life. I don't want to be a degenerate human being, because that's not why I was put here, and that's not why you were either. And if you want to know how to get your shit together before 2024, because I don't know, I mentioned this last year. I don't know why the fuck people still make New Year's resolutions. That's done, bro. That's a 2015 ideology. Nigga, we're out with that shit. We start now. And not only that, it's... Don't you want to start off strong? I don't like to let a calendar dictate my life, but you do want to kind of start off strong, right? It is kind of that mark, right? But we have 5 months or 4 months. What are you going to do with it, right? I've totally come to the conclusion that I'm done making excuses. I'm done hating on myself. I need to start loving myself. And I'm reading the book 12 Rules for Life. Jordan Peterson talks about how the fact that we don't treat ourselves like somebody we like because we know that what we're capable of, we know the sins that we make. That's why we treat a dog better than us, because a dog is innocent. A dog doesn't have consciousness of good and evil. A dog doesn't commit sin, but we do, and we know that deep inside. That's why we neglect ourselves. Right? And it's a very, very, very interesting idea. But besides the fact, just stop. If you want to know how to get your shit together before 2024, just stop wasting time. Delete the apps. Stop beating your meat. Just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it, man. I was talking to myself in the car the other day, and I was just kind of tearing up again. I'm like, Graco, what are you going to do? August is around the corner. Are you going to continue to eat junk food? Are you going to continue to lie yourself and let yourself down on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? Or are you just going to stop? What's the choice you're going to make here? It's done, bro. And if by 2024 hits and niggas are still beating their meat, watching pornography, I truly have no fucking remorse for you. I truly have no remorse. Excuse my language. I have no remorse. And you're just going to be left in the dust. And if you haven't set an idea on God or a religion, or not even a religion, on just God and living up to a higher standard and orientating yourself in a world that's somewhat respectable to yourself and others around you, then I don't know what to make of it. And I have no respect for you at all. And you have no respect for yourself either. You don't have any respect for anybody who birthed you, if you're going to constantly waste your time and bask in the easy pleasures that society is pushing your way. And if you don't accept these easy pleasures, then you're somebody who's left out and shunned upon and not accepted in the tribe. Who gives a fuck about the tribe? It's psychological warfare, and we don't want to tend with that. We want to step outside and build our own path, or follow the path in others who lived the ideal, and you want to become your ideal, right? I'm getting kind of philosophical here, man. I don't really want to ramble on too long, but I'll see you guys in 2024. I love you. Let's start off tomorrow strong, G. Peace.